Well, hello, and welcome back to Ready, Steady, Play. Today we're going to be playing Arkham Horror Chapter 2. This is Arkham Horror, the card game. Of course, not Arkham Horror, the board game, or any of the other Arkham Files stuff. Look, you're either sort of familiar with Arkham Horror or the Arkham Files, or you're not. I'm not going to get into the whole history of any of that. This is the card game version. This is, of course, a cooperative adventure game set in the world of Cthulhu. I believe the core set's 1 to 4 players. It's, inspired by the Lovecraft stuff, but this is very much in the world developed by FFG, Fantasy Flight Games. They've been publishing this since before they were bought by Asmodee, but now it's all part of that big system. But this is is it a second edition? Is it a third edition? It's a second edition, sort of. If you don't know anything about this game, I first streamed this game. It was one of our first big videos. I say streamed, I didn't stream it. I put out a video of us playing it in my living room 10 years ago. And Barry's in that, and also Danny, who is off living his best life in Canada. But that's how long ago I played this game. I've never had an opportunity to play a full version of this, by which I mean this is a campaign game. What you do is you pick up one of the characters from Arkham, you go on some kind of adventure, depending on what set you've got, what's going on. It is cosmic horror, so monsters are coming from the unknown, and you've got to figure out what's going on and stop their evil plans. And you can play it true solo, which is what I'm doing here today, so by myself. But you can also play it with up to 4 people, but it's functionally the same thing. And you'll make your way through the story, which is a series of acts that are linked, and that will be a complete story. In the core set here, so this is the new core set. This is called, colloquially, maybe it is officially called Chapter 2. It is colloquially or officially called Chapter 2. But it's sort of a soft reboot, because the 2016 version we played on the show was the original core set. We also played the first sort of episode, or the first act of the Dunwich Horror, but we didn't, we were making so many videos and I was playing so many games, I didn't have time to actually progress through any of those stories at all. Now that I'm live streaming, I've got a bit more time, and it's a little bit more efficient. So hopefully we can actually get through all 3 acts that come in this box. So the core box comes with 3 acts. The original story was called Night of the Zealot. A lot of people say that this one, which is called The Brethren of Ash, is kind of like a reboot of the Night of the Zealot. Can you all hear me okay, by the way? Let me know in chat. Give me a thumbs up if the audio is okay, or if you want it a bit louder. But I never got to play Act 2 or 3 of Night of the Zealot, so I'm quite excited to work my way through Brethren of Ash, even if it is sort of just a reskin of the same basic principles. And we might die, there's a very real possibility. I actually practiced Act 1 off camera to make sure I had most of the rules right, because there's some futzy little bits, and maybe we'll talk about that, I don't know. Or maybe we'll just play the game. But the point is that I played most of Act 1 off camera, and it went really, really well. So I think that this is going to go horribly. That's my theory of averages averaging out. But this is the 2026 soft reboot. It's got the Brethren of Ash campaign. It's very short. There's not much going on. A lot of people said, don't get into it yet. Wait for some more stuff to come out. And we might talk about that at the end. We might play Act 2 at the end. We'll see how long this takes and what we're feeling like. But I've got thumbs up for audio. I've got a chat box that still doesn't work. God, son of a gun. I'm not a good streamer in terms of the fancy overlays and everything else. I'll get there. Leave it with me. I'm still trying to fix it. I'll get there. So if you don't know anything about the game, we're going to pick a character. So what I've got here is the first act of Brethren of Ash. We've got the little campaign book. This comes with the game. And we've got our character set up. So this is Tommy Muldoon. This is one of the expansion investigators. So they released the core set alongside 5 investigator packs, and you could buy those. And so I decided to pick this guy because he's a policeman, and also he's a detective. And I was like, or he's like a policeman and he's like a detective guy, and basically is, look, I'm fighting monsters and I'm looking for clues and I'm all on my own. So I was like, I'll take the guy that's used to solving crimes and has guns. That just seems like the 2 things I need to solve the problems set forth in this situation. So our deck, this is a deck construction game. So this deck here is 30 cards. Now you can just buy the Tommy Muldoon expansion, just use the 30 card deck and play with it straight away. I was like, I'm going to build my own deck and I'm going to customize it. And then I went to look and I found 2 things. One, so the first and key thing really here actually is that if you are building a deck, and we're getting into the weeds here. I really didn't really want to do that, so we'll keep it real brief. But if you're building a deck, you've got some options here about what you actually have to do. And you can see here that Tommy, he uses guardian cards and neutral cards, and that's it. So like and guardian cards of this is this blue symbol here. So you see this shield up here. That means he's a guardian, and oftentimes and there's like 5 types, right? There's guardians and wizards and librarians and some others. Those are wrong, by the way. I'm being flippant because I don't know them. But there's 5 different sort of like classes, I suppose, for want of a better term. Guardian class is sort of like a tough fighter type, and perhaps maybe a bit of healing or damage soaking as well. Anyway, the point is he can only draw the blue cards and some neutral cards, or neutral cards as well. And so there actually wasn't that many deck building options that I had that I could do. So so I didn't change a whole lot. This is the answer. This is very close to the 30 card deck that comes in the expansion. There's one sort of change. There's a couple of little changes, and probably I've just made it worse because I've never really played this properly. I don't know what I'm doing, but we will see. We'll see how this goes, and we'll have some fun. Maybe I'll do a quick sort of explainer, just very, very quick explainer on a few points here. If you bear with me just 2 seconds while I sort my life out here and try to get my head around what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. That'll do. Okay, so this is the round sequence, right? And this just repeats until the game is either won or lost. And the way we're going to actually win or lose the game is using these 2 decks up here. So this deck here is called the bad cards, and this deck here is called the good cards. That's not right either. But this is the evil plot, and this is the good guy plot. And functionally, it's a racing game. We need to progress our good plot before the evil plot progresses to its conclusion. So that's sort of what we're trying to do. And we're just going to repeat our round sequence here until one of these 2 decks resolves. And we can sort of fail forward, right? You know, like failing might result in the whole campaign ending. We might be killed and depending on how we're killed, that might result in the whole campaign ending. We might get sort of like trauma and bad things and then fail forward, but probably we're going to fail next time anyway, because, you know, you won't get any of the cool upgrades and stuff if you fail too much. But the Mythos phase, skipped in the first round, is like bad stuff happening, and then we get to do a bunch of actions. 3 actions. We get to do the investigator phase, then there's an enemy phase where if there's enemies on the board, they're going to attack us, and then there's an upkeep phase where we get to draw a card and we get a little bit of currency and refresh all of the stuff on the board. And then the Mythos phase where we put Doom on their agenda. So that's their plot advancing. That's what we're trying to stay ahead of. And then we advance their agenda cards, that's what they're called. We advance their agenda if it's full of doom, and then we have to draw a card from the deck of misery, encounter deck, which I've made up following the instructions for this scenario. And then we get to do another investigator phase. And we will find very quickly that these investigator phases are not long enough, and we don't have enough actions, and there's too many things we have to do. And that's sort of where our deck comes in with all our fun business. But what we can do on a turn is more or less just trigger our sort of nonsense. But we get to draw cards, we can gain resources, which are just the two things. Like, really, you want to be drawing cards and gaining resources by playing your cards already. You can activate your card abilities. These are powerful ways to deal with the situations in the game. We can play the cards from our hand. We can move around the locations on the board. There's no board, it's cards. I'll show you how that works. We can investigate. This is the key way we advance our plot. We basically have to collect these clue tokens from different locations on the board. And so we're going to be doing that. We can engage enemies. Enemies typically will engage us, but sometimes they won't want to engage us, and then if we need to fight them, we'll engage with them. You can also engage with them to pull them away from your friends. I don't have any friends, so we don't need to worry about that. You can fight the enemies, and you can parlay with them, which is sort of like negotiating, I suppose. And finally, if you have a card that lets you resign, this is like the panic button. Like, uh-oh, this isn't going well. Get me out of here before things get much worse. Also, there's the lightning bolt and the round circle. The lightning bolt is a reaction, so this card or effect will trigger in response to something. No, sorry. The lightning bolt is fast. It means it doesn't cost one of our 3 actions. The circle is the reaction that triggers in response to something. Anyway, and if we're engaged with an enemy, then like we're actively fighting an enemy, then we're very restricted about what we can do. Most of the time we have to fight that enemy, or else they attack us and do damage to us. So that's those are the actions we're going to be doing. Those are our 3 actions. I've got some little tokens that I've got here. These are just to actually help me keep track of how many actions I've used on camera, because, you know, otherwise I forget, and that would be bad. The actions are in this are super important. We really don't want to not, like, miss an action. We don't want to miss an action. Hey, Alessandro, Brian, Layla, thanks for hanging out. Layla, I found one of your comments on a video from 1,000,000 years ago. So thank you for hanging out and coming back. That's awesome. That was very cool. I can't remember. Don't ask me. It was Euthia. So I played Euthia on the weekend, and I was rewatching our old live stream to see if it like jogged my memory on how to play. And there was a comment from you on that video, like, I can't wait to get my copy out. Did you ever get to play it? Did you ever play Euthia? We had a blast playing it on the weekend. It was really fun. Okay, so, right. We begin the Brethren of Ash. We're going to start with a story time. So all of the setup, so a few things first. We just start with 5 resources. So here's 5 resources. We'll do our starting hand in just a minute. I'll read you a little bit of story first, and then we can do our starting hand. Or maybe we're supposed to do that first. We'll do it first. So for the starting hand, we draw 5 cards, and then we can have a little mulligan. Oh, do you know what? Actually, before I even do that, I have to do this. Where is it? So we have weakness. So in our deck, there are a few cards that you're forced to add, which I should have pointed out when I was showing the back of this card, but never mind. There is sort of like Tommy Muldoon's signature weakness, and then there's a basic weakness. So you have 2 weakness cards in your deck. Layla says, yes, did play Euthia. It's super. Haven't unboxed the last wave of stuff yet either. Yeah, I'm sitting on, what's the middle one called? Fierce Powers, and the new one, which was, I can't remember. I'm going to call it Cursive Ice, but I know that's wrong. I'm sitting on both of those boxes, and I'm keen to explore them. But honestly, I've barely played it since we last live streamed it. So I was really keen to get back into it, and now that I have, I'm excited to explore those new boxes as well. I did really enjoy it. I mean, I can see how, like, if I played it a lot, it might feel a bit samey, but it's so big that I'm never going to play it a lot. It's too big. It takes too long. Anyway, here we go. This is going to be our basic weakness for this game. These are all basic weaknesses from all the expansions in the core box, and we're going to pick this one here to be our basic weakness for this particular campaign. So here's hoping. So that goes out of play. That's not going to be in play anymore. And here's hoping that this is not too bad. Uh-oh. No. Actually, do you know, this might be all right. So I think this is from the... I've turned it upside down. I've turned it upside down because the vampire's upside down. So this is an enemy card, but I actually don't mind enemy cards because I'm Gunman. So the Blood Drinker is a basic weakness. As you can see, it says under Blood Drinker, it says basic weakness. And then this is the stats for the monster. So it's got 2 fighty power, 3 hit points in the middle there, and 4 chase you power. So it's hard to evade him. He's a humanoid monster. He's got Hunter Retaliate. After he attacks, he heals the damage. So he's just a little vampire guy who's going to be chasing us around throughout this entire campaign. It's probably fine. Anyway, we have to shuffle him into our deck. Alessandro says, is this the new version of the game? I'm so tempted to buy it. Yes, I was just talking about that at the start. So this is the 2026 core set. And also, I have incorporated all of the Investigator expansions, but you're not going to see any of that content except for that one card I just showed you, the basic weakness there, which is from, I believe, the Red Investigator expansion. But, you know, this just felt like, for me, a good jumping in point for me because I've actually got a bit of time to play it now, and I don't have any of the old stuff, and it's impossible to get. Like, it's all out of print. It's the secondary market for it is insane. And, like, don't get me wrong, I like this game. I'm happy to play this game. I'm not willing to pay the prices they're charging on the secondhand market for any of the content. This game is fun. It's not that good. It's not that, and you know, that's partly a way of saying I think maybe the hype is a little too high. The game's really good, but it's not like that good. But actually, really, those second-hand market prices are insane. They're crazy. Like a full collection of the old stuff, people are asking for like $2,000. It's crazy. All right, so now that we've set up our investigator deck, we can... Billy says, I have all of Chapter 1, but it's not 3K fun. Yeah, exactly, Billy. And like the thing is as well, it's not like you can't get it. This is here now, you know? Just, you can keep buying Chapter 2. I think some of the existing community was a bit peeved that they'd sort of done this soft reset because they were hoping for more sort of bigger campaigns that could use all of their stuff. And I do think, to an extent, FFG's in like a tricky situation now where, you know, it's hard for them to keep printing stuff for the people who own everything and also keep printing stuff that new people can get into. But the fact is, like, I played... This came out, what, like 11 years ago? And it's still in print because people love it. You know, like, I feel like you've got to be able to come up with a release model that enables... Like, I don't know why it keeps going out of print. It's crazy. Like, why is all the old stuff out of print? People obviously still want to buy it, and you could easily make it all cross-compatible. I don't understand how this is such a struggle for them. My only idea is that this soft reboot must be a more economical system for them, but it's crazy to me. Anyway, this is perfect for me because this is also supposed to be a bit lighter, a little bit easier. If you're wondering, by the way, well, I'll talk about the Chaos Bag in a minute. So now we're going to do our opening hand mulligan. So we will see. We're going to draw 5, and then we can mulligan any number of them. So I will talk about these cards in a little bit more detail. Have we got another camera here that can zoom in on these a little bit? Maybe? Ah, yes, okay. Bear with me. Well, I just have a look and see if we can zoom in on the mulligan there. All right, so here we've got the cards I'm drawing. So Emergency Cash is one that I added because I didn't trust the bounty card. Now I regret it immediately because I left one bounty card in. I'll talk about that. Maybe I'll talk about that. I don't know. Anyway, the final card is... So this is Loose Cannon. This is his actual weakness. So it says here, when you reveal this off the top of your deck, you have to discard all of your firearm assets or lose 5 resources. That sucks. And depending on when this comes out, it could really mess us up. So, and it says, you're out of line, Muldoon. During the mulligan step, we're just going to set this aside and shuffle it back in a minute, and we'll go back up to 5. So this one I want to start with. Obviously, I want to start with that. That's my pistol. It's just a sort of a standard gun, but like my whole thing is lots of guns. So what's good about the pistol is it gives us +1 on fight checks. It gives us +1 extra damage. It comes with 4 uses, but I have lots of ways to get extra ammo on there. And just a solid attack card. And doing extra damage is great because it's quite hard to do damage in this game otherwise. So we'll keep that. We'll keep the emergency cash because this is functionally just get some money. And we need the resources so that when that loose cannon card comes out, we can pay to keep our stuff. All right, so then what we've got here is Adapt and Overcome. This lets us ignore alert and retaliate keywords. This can be really key, especially actually if that vampire guy comes out. But I'm not sure if it's necessary at the start. It does have some good symbols on here, which I might talk about. Bear with me, I have it right here. There we go. It's got some good symbols here. So these are the skill check icons, and we haven't talked about skill check or the chaos bag. Seems like a lot of you know how to play already, but I will mention that, and you'll see me doing it anyway during the game. But these help us pass the tests. So yeah, exactly. Just draw the right tokens. We don't need those. But the card text is not that useful. This is a skill card actually. So, it says here, commit only to an attack or an evasion. So the question is, how early in the game am I going to need to attack or evade? There's probably cards I'd rather have this early than that. There's a doggo and a policewoman that are both really helpful for me. We've got custom grip. This lets me recover a gun. So I think that's probably worth keeping simply because it's kind of... I was hoping to find one of the cards that lets me hunt for more guns or else find more guns. So I'll hang on to that. This one lets me shoot without... You get exhaust iron sights. You get +3 skill value the next time you fight using the attached asset this turn. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Yeah, okay, so this basically is saying... So this little arrow here means it's an action. And this is saying we can attach this to one of our guns without being hit by an enemy. If we're in combat, like I said, we can only do certain things. It's here, actually. You know, if you're in combat with an enemy, functionally, you have to be fighting or trying to dodge it or trying to at least talk to it or run away. Otherwise, it's if you're trying to investigate, like if you're trying to look for clues while an enemy is hunting you, it's just gonna kill you. So you can't do that. I mean, you can. It'll just keep smacking you, and it's a bad idea. So that's attacks of opportunity. And this one is not going to trigger that attack of opportunity because functionally what this is just us looking down the side of the gun. So we're going to take a bit of time to aim to get +3 skill value. I don't feel like this early on I really need +3 to fight actions. I mean, you're right, Billy, it is a really good card, but I think there's a few other cards I'd rather have from the outset. So I might, given that I'm not keeping Adapt and Overcome. Right, so I've kept 3 out of my starting mulligan here. So, and this one was obviously set aside, so I'm going to draw 2 more to make up my 5, and I just hope that these are the ones I'm hunting for. We've got the police doggo! Yes, this is what I wanted. All right, he's great. He just gets exhausted as a fast to give you +1 to any skill check. So he's just a helpful little guy. He can also soak some damage for me, but like I'm never going to deal damage to the dog. I'm just not going to do it. And we've got Vicious Blow. So this adds an extra damage. This is a skill card, so it's committed to a skill check. Billy says it's good late game, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. It'll be good when a big bad scary monster comes out. Hopefully we'll be able to find it again. So anyway, here's our starting hand. I will shuffle these back in. These ones are going to live down here on the bottom of the table here. So if they're down here, they're in my hand. If they're up here, they're assets in play. Yeah, there's functionally 3 kinds of card. 3? Yeah, maybe more. But there's 3 important kinds of cards. We got these assets like the dog and the gun that I'm going to play up here, and I'm going to have those, and they're going to improve my situation. And then we've got events like, for example, these are both events actually, but the custom grip is attached to a gun, so it does stay in play. The emergency cash, you just play it, you get some money, and then it leaves the area. Skill cards are only ever used as part of a skill check, which you'll see me demonstrate shortly. The other cards we didn't keep, including the set-aside weakness card, are now shuffled back into the deck. So hopefully not going to come back out and really mess us up, but we'll see in due course. All right, so that's the setup complete. Now we get story time. Now we get a bit of story time. I'm trying to decide how I feel about that vampire. If I like that more or less than any other weakness I might have had. It could potentially be useful. What did he have? 3 hit points? That's no ideal. I like 2 hit points because then I can kill it with 1 bullet. Alright, that's definitely well shuffled. There's no way that this isn't going to be good for me. Okay, so here we go. Brethren of Ash, story mode. Let's see if we can get the text on camera here. I think this is going to be a bit tricky for you guys to actually read, but we'll see. We'll see. Where are my buttons? There they are. Okay, so Arkham has always been a little strange. It seems like every time you read the news, there's a fresh report of some gruesome murder or sudden disappearance. A battered corpse in the waterfront district, a missing police officer in French Hill, a bloody sigil drawn in the alley behind Velma's diner. The city has its share of crackpots and conspiracy theorists, sure, but even the most level-headed observer can't ignore the facts. There's something wrong with this city. However, most folks in Arkham don't like to dwell on the bad. In the wake of the flood 6 months ago, the city is building itself back stronger than ever, with new money pouring in from outside investors. They say everything's on the up and up, and it sure looks like it, but you know there's always something more to the story. Whatever lies ahead, you don't have to face it alone. There are others like you who have encountered similar horrors and who won't settle for easy explanations or comforting distractions. They too know there is something to this city's ancient curses and witch legends. Will you stand with them against the evils that lurk beyond mortal understanding? Or will you succumb, as so many have, to the terrors of the mythos? Am I going to get in trouble for mispronouncing this again? Mythos? Write it in chat. Do you have a preference, mythos or mythos? I know everyone believes it should be one way, and I always get in trouble for saying it the wrong way. And then I forget which way I should be saying it. Strange things are afoot in the city of Arkham. A recent spate of fires and grisly accidents have the entire city on edge. While the Arkham Advertiser has offered a few flimsy explanations, you and your associates are not so sure. Robed figures have been sighted near these odd happenings, and your mutual friend is convinced they are to blame. You agree to meet at your friend's dormitory. You agree to meet at your friend's dormitory at the Miskatonic University to try and get to the bottom of things. However, when you arrive, your friend's room is empty, and the dormitories are strangely quiet. Mythos! Alright, so we'll set aside the Brethren of Ash for the moment. And here's the first location. So this was put out as part of setup. So what we've got here is our friend's room. So this is going to be how we're going to connect up locations. So these two little codes here. Now, this is the actual location code up here, the pink spade. The blue triangle is locations that connect to this one. So you can only get to your friend's room from somewhere else. I don't know where that is yet. The game will tell us when to put out the location that connects to this. For now, this is the only location in the game. So we're at this is a Miskatonic location, your friend's room. Your friend's room is in utter disarray. But are those signs of a weary mind or some kind of struggle? So here we go. We've arrived. We're Tommy Muldoon here. We've arrived at the location, and that means it unlocks. So the little key up here means it's locked, and once you visit it, then it flips over, and now it's unlocked. So the dorm is quickly filling with smoke. What's that about? All right, time for more story. The campus is strangely quiet, and there is no sign of your friend. Hooded figures cross the quad as nervous students scurry under painfully bright street lamps. So this is the enemy agenda, and it's past curfew. And we've got an action on here that we can take. Any of the actions that are sort of existing in the play area are available to us. In this case, Parlay lets us discard a bystander enemy. So that's some enemy that's going to appear at some point. And then we've got over here our little plot here. So where there's smoke, you're searching the dormitories for any sign of your friend. Well, this is not just figurative smoke, because the dormitories are in fact, but the dormitory is filling with smoke. At the end of the round, investigators may spend the requisite clues as a group to advance. So this is this little icon here means 2 clues. The little hat actually means per player, because we're playing true solo. It's 2. All right, so let's have a look and see. Now that we've arrived, all right. Last thing, sorry, before I forgot to mention. So this little icon here means that there are 2 clues per player here. Again, so all the clues we need are here, the 2 clues we need to get, but we're gonna have to try and find them, and this is the value we're competing with here. So this is called the shroud value, and we'll be trying to overcome that using skill checks in order to find the 2 clues at this location. So I'm gonna put those clues out now. They look like this. And because we skipped the Mythos phase in the first round of the game, it's actually the investigator phase right now. And we get to start right away. So, Billy says that the new core rules in core game have accounted for true solo more. They're more conscientious of it. That's cool. I'm not super familiar with the history of the game, so I wouldn't probably notice those changes. Well, like I said, I played the original stuff like a couple of times, you know, but it suits me well because I'm streaming it solo. Okie dokie. So we're going to start with Police Dog, because Police Dog gives us +1 on checks, so that costs, let me just bring this up for you here. And so Police Dog costs 3 resources to play. So we spend our 3 resources. We've also got to get rid of one of our actions because we played a card. Now, I think I'd probably play the emergency cash, just because if I don't, then I have to and I draw my weakness, I have to get rid of the doggo. But I'm conscious that, well, I'll show you what I'm conscious of. If I can find this track here. So I'm conscious that this is the doom for the the doom for the enemy plot. So if I want to progress my card before this triggers, because this is going to add 1 per round, starting from next round, I only have like, because it does it at the top of the round and this progresses at the end of the round. If I want to progress this mine first, I'm going to have to start ASAP, because I'm like, because I've built this deck for like true solo, I'm like okay. I'm like okay at stuff. I'm not the best at stuff. I'm okay at stuff, you know? So let's play the emergency cache anyway. I'm loath to spend a whole action, but it is what it is. Also, I'll never get over a left-hand discard, but I did it because this is what it says to do in the rules, and I didn't want to upset the people who are used to playing this game this way. But for me, the discard's always over here. Kind of helps on stream though as well, having it over here. Kind of helps. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Kind of all. I should probably play the gun. What if an enemy appears in the next Mythos phase and I don't have a gun? But then I've used all 3 actions. Do I think we can do 2? Yes, okay. I think I can get both of my investigate actions done successfully next round. No, I don't. And the dog resets in the end phase, cleanup phase. So, come on, Saxon. His name's Saxon. This is Good Boy Saxon on the card. So, let's activate Saxon. Well, I'll walk you guys through a skill check. So, for skill check, we pick a target of what we're doing. In this case, we're doing the Friends Room. There is there's like an extra action on here as well. Do I have a close-up of Friends Room? This'll do. So Friends Room has an action on it here. You probably can't read, but it's an engagement action. I can pull enemies into here. I'm not going to do that. But we can just do any action in here. So, you know, we're going to do that investigate action. And to do the investigate action, we basically decide what to commit. And we're going to use my stats, actually. So skill checks are typically like in one of the 4 stats. So you've got brain power, I think it's called willpower. You've got book smarts, which I think it's called lore, fighting, and agility, strength and agility. And whenever we have to do a skill check, this is our sort of baseline value. So I don't look that dissimilar to Tommy, actually, from this angle. And the blue shirt as well. Look, I like blue, okay? It's my favorite color, so that's also one of the reasons why I was pulled towards Tommy. And it says, this uniform means something. I'm reminded of that every time I put it on. Anyway, we're going to be using these stats as our baseline. So baseline for investigation is lore, which is the books, which is 3. So we're going to be doing, so we'll spend this to trigger an investigate action. We're trying to beat a 2, so our baseline is 3 versus 2. But you have to go here into the bag. Now, I said at the top of the show we're playing on standard. That's because I'd quite like to have some fun. The tokens in this bag are positives, negatives, outright fails, or magic successes, and what's in the bag will depend entirely on the difficulty level you're playing. I had considered playing on expert because I thought it would let me put all the tokens in the bag, and then I wouldn't need to worry about finding the right ones. But I realized that expert doesn't do that, and also I'd probably have a really bad time. So we're not doing that. Billy says, I never play above standard. I'm not, I don't want to, you know what, I don't want to have it too hard on my first go. Anyway, I could commit this custom grip to the check because this grip shows a book icon on it. And the book icon, is the icon we need to do the check, but then I'd lose the card. So the cards can do this stuff down here, or they can be used for skill checks by applying them up there. The skill cards themselves, so this is a type of card called a skill card. You can see it doesn't have a cost. That's because it's never actually played from hand in the way to the game state down here. It's always played from hand to a skill check directly, and it applies both its icon up here and the card text down here. But Vicious Blow is only useful for attacks, and we're not doing attacks. So what we're going to do, I haven't played the custom grip either. What we're going to do here is we're actually just going to activate Saxon. Now this is a fast card. There's 2 windows for activating fast. I printed it out of the rulebook actually, so I remember. But we just decide what we're testing, then we can play some fast cards, then we commit cards from our hand, then we can play some more fast cards, and then we functionally just have to go through the rest of the process, which is what I'll do right now. So Saxon gives us a +1. That puts us on 4 against the site's shroud value of 2, which means that we are looking for something that's not -2. This is the skull icon. So to know what this does, you have to check the current Spreading Flames guide. Oh, save it. It's this is -X, where X is the current act. So this gets more problematic as the game goes on. Fortunately, this is Act 1. That's -1. That leaves us on 3 against the shroud value of 2, which means we've done it. So a successful investigate check, that means we get to have 1 clue. So Tommy takes a clue. He's figured something out about the missing friend. Good job, Tommy. Well done, buddy. I'm all out of actions, so we're going to go ahead and move to the enemy phase. Now, this is where enemies who are engaged with us, who are ready, would attack us. There's none of them. No baddies have appeared yet. Spoiler alert, baddie's going to appear at some point. So we'll move straight to the upkeep phase, where we ready the cards, we get our little action markers back, and we get to draw a card. Physical fitness. This is just move action. So I can play this for a move action. Normally a move action is just an action, but this costs 2 and lets us, actually functionally this is a play card action. So I play card, but it lets me move, and then I heal 2. So this is just a way to get some health back, which, I really need. Probably going to need it. It doesn't, unfortunately, have an investigate icon on it, though. But the doggo's back, ready to help with investigating. Good. We also get to have 1 resource as part of the cleanup phase. That's 3. I love to have 3, but it's not how it works. And then, I think that's it. Oh yeah, then I have to discard down to hand size, but hand size is 8, so don't even worry about it. So now we have to do the Mythos phase. So, in the Mythos phase, the first thing we're going to do is put a Doom onto the evil card. That's 3 Doom. Here we go. So we stick a Doom over here. So that's our first Doom. It's not yet. Then we check to see if it triggers, but it hasn't because that's less than 3. So we will draw one of these encounter cards, and hopefully it's not too bad. Actually, really, I'm hoping it's not an enemy because I didn't equip my gun. So this is the Unspeakable Truths. So Revelation, that means when the card is revealed, which is right now. We've just revealed it. Put it into play in your threat area. After you discover 1 or more clues, you take a horror. You may spend 2 actions to get rid of it. So that arrow is actions. Fine. That's not great. So it goes here into my threat area, which is just in front of me. I'm not like stoked about that, but do I really want to? So that's it. That's the end of the Mythos phase. Now it's back to my turn. I don't really want to spend 2 actions to get rid of that, but if my first clue is successful, what I mean to say is I could do an investigate, and if the investigate is successful, then we could spend the final 2 to get rid of that, because we would be able to progress. So, yeah, let's start with investigate check again. I'm just going to activate my police doggo to get +1. I'm still keeping the custom grip. I'm going to spend the custom grip if I get into trouble. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, let's see what happens here. Oh, of course, if this is successful, I'll take a horror. I could get rid of the unspeakable truths first, and then I wouldn't take a horror. I only can take 6. I've got one more turn. Let's do it. I don't like... It feels bad. Oh, but then I can't equip the gun again. What if a baddie comes out and I don't have my gun equipped? Then I'm going to get smacked before I can equip the gun. This sucks. This game's too hard. Let's put it away. Alright, let's just gamble on no baddies. We're paying... The whole turn is just get rid of this card. Goodbye. Alright, so... Here we go. Investigate check in the dormitories. Trying to find a friend. Oh, well, that's the automatic failure. So that sets our value to 0. So... too bad. So sad. That was a bummer of a turn. Just get rid of that card, and then, was this if I failed or if I passed? If you discover a clue. Yeah, so I didn't even discover a clue. Damn it. That sucks. Alright. Game sucks. Stream's over. Alright, so it's the enemy phase. There's no enemies to do, so we'll get back to upkeep. We'll ready the police dog. We're going to draw another card. We've got adapt and overcome. So... This is the one we saw during setup that lets me commit it to an attack or an evasion roll to avoid, alert, and retaliate. Which are 2 keywords that I sort of remember what they do. And we get another resource. We get our 3 actions back. And now we're back in the Mythos phase of round 3. So here's another Doom. Now, I need to find that clue this round, or else that top plot progresses before I can progress. Yeah, where's my table flip token? Table flip, it's all done. And now, another Mythos card. Please be less bad than that other one. Please. Ah, it's a baddie. Nah, is it though? It's a bystander. I mean, it is a baddie. It says enemy. It literally says enemy above his head. It says doomed. When this enemy is defeated, place a doom on the current agenda. This could cause it to advance, and that will cause it to advance. So I don't want to do that. They're always in the exact wrong place at the exact wrong time. I have a card that lets me interrogate enemies that would be really good for this. Sadly, I don't have it in hand. And I can't draw cards now. Because... when we pull an enemy from the encounter deck, he immediately engages us. So we're now engaged with the bystander. So I don't really want to kill him because of doomed. I can parlay with him. So what do parlay do again? It says, if you succeed, discard a bystander enemy at your location. So he can test lore 2. All right, so we can take an action to get rid of him. Oh, it's just more time wasting. That's fine then. So let's get rid of him, because we can't really do anything until we get rid of him. Will I commit doggo to this? No. Yes. Yes. Because I need to get rid of this guy. So, here we go. Blam! -1. Boom, that's a success. And actually I I still would have succeeded even if I hadn't committed Saxon. But Saxon, the scary dog, bark, 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 scares off the bystander. Goodbye, get out of here. And at least because we've done that, we don't suffer any doom. Okay, good. Now we will do the... So that was one action. Now we're going to do investigate check. And I think I will throw out the custom grip for this to get +1, because I really don't want to fail. I could throw out adapt and overcome and keep the custom grip. Oh, I'm not sure. So this has got on it, it's got, oh, it says commit to a skill test during an attack or evasion. I can't use it right now. But, oh, sorry, gang. That's what I wanted. But I just wanted to throw out that it's got the wild icon here, so that can contribute to any test. So for fighting an evasion, it has actually functionally got 2, I suppose. Commit only to a skill test during an attack or evasion, though. So, bummer. During attack... No, sorry, the police dog is during an attack or investigation. Right, so I couldn't use the police dog during the parlay, could I? Because the parlay is not an attack or an investigation. Well spotted, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. And Alessandro says, can you not simply discard, adapt, and overcome for the icons? I don't think you can on skill cards. I think you have to follow the card text on skill cards. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. With other cards, like for example, Saxon, if I were to play Saxon from hand for a skill check, none of this would be relevant. The cost wouldn't matter either, the 3 cost. Up there, all that would matter is the icon there. So I just use Saxon. Okay, well, I mean, maybe that's a gimme then, because I can't commit Saxon to the parlay. So I should probably do it again, right, gang? Can I have that one, or shall I pull again? Alessandro, you've played a lot more than me than this, so you should know. Right. Right. So I'm so that's there still currently. No strong feelings for chat. Then I'm gonna let myself get away with it because I don't trust my. No. Do you know what? We'll start over. We will. We'll do it properly. So without the ability to do that, I'll tell you what. Actually, we'll just pretend we used the custom grip. Because if I couldn't use the dog, I probably would have spent the custom grip, so for its lock icon. And then I can use Saxon to help me with the investigate action instead. So here we go. Investigate in the dorm room. Blam! That's -1, so once again we're on 3. We need 2, so that's a success. So we grab the other clue from the dorm room there. Great. So this will not, the act will not progress till the end of the round. So for our final action, what we're going to do is we're going to use Tommy Muldoon's special ability, which allows us to play a weapon from hand. And when we play that weapon, we can either spend 1, so it's 3 costs to play the gun. We can either spend 1 additional resource or discard a gun we have in play to add 2 additional ammo to it. So we've got 4 ammo in there already, so let's pay 1 extra so it comes into play with 6 ammo. Nice. And then we're out of actions. That's the end of the turn. So we are into enemy phase, but there's no enemies. So we're into upkeep phase, which is ready Saxon, and draw a card. We've got another gun. This is my other gun, the service revolver. So this doesn't have the attack action on it like the first one. This is a little gun that's used actually in response to an enemy attack. So we'll just pull this out when somebody comes at us, I guess. And we get another resource. And that's it for now. So it's end of round, so we spend both of these clues to progress our plot here. So we flip this guy over and read what's on the back of this one. You find your friend's satchel scorched. You find your friend's satchel scorched with a stylized emblem of an open palm. Wherever your friend is, you imagine they didn't go willingly. As you turn to leave, you're confronted by a masked figure wreathed in flame. As the room erupts into flames around you, they let out a chilling wail. Discard each enemy in play. Put the dormitory and Miskatonic quad locations in play. Spawn the Servant of Flame at the dormitories. And then attach a set-aside copy of Fire to your friend's room. And put each set-aside copy of Fire in the discard pile. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so things are getting serious now. Oh, before we go away, actually, let's just check. So our next objective is escape the dorms. A burning apparition stands between you and the exit. You must escape the dormitories. If each undefeated investigator is at the Miskatonic quad, advance. And then it says, hint, sometimes it's better to run than to fight. Sure. I believe that. So here's our friend's room here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over here to the set-aside cards. And we're going to put out the dormitories. So this location, we know, is... where are my locations at? Come on, camera. Alessandra says, I checked on the website because I couldn't remember. It says if a skill card is committed to a skill test, its ability may be used during the resolution of that skill test as specified on the card. Well, thank you for looking into it. I suppose it makes sense that you could just commit it for the icons, even if the text says... I don't know, though. The text's quite specific. It says, commit only to a skill test during an attack or evasion. That sounds pretty specific. But anyway, we've got the dormitories there. So we know that the dormitories goes to the friend's room because the friend's room icon is shown down here. And we know the friend's room goes to the dormitories because the icon here matches the dormitories icon. So we put a little arrow like this to show that. And then the dormitories goes to the Miskatonic quad. So we'll get that out. Here it is. We'll put another little arrow. Now we can see here as well, the icons are matching up. They're both on the locked side because we haven't visited them yet. We've also got all of these locations coming off of the Miskatonic quad, which is a fair few. But unfortunately, this guy here has appeared at the dormitories. So that's the Servant of Flame. He has 5 hit points per player. He takes 4 successful attack of 4 to hit him. He's also got Hunter, Prey, and Retaliate. He does 2 of each damage. So he also does 2 damage and 2 horror. He's pretty scary. So we need some way to get past him. But he's hanging out here in the dormitories. And I think that's all the instructions. Oh yeah, the fire. Right. So now also my room's on fire, which is great. So this says, when you reveal this, attach it to the nearest location without fire attached, which happens to be where I am. So, but also we were told to do that. And then it also says forced. When the investigator phase ends, each non-elite card with health takes a damage. And I can make an agility check, 3 to try and put the fire out. But I don't know. I don't feel like there's time for that. Then we're going to take the remaining fire cards, and we're going to put these into the discard pile. And I'm sure nothing bad will happen with those. All right, now we've followed all the instructions, and we've set up the further situation. So that was end of the round. So now we're back at the top, and we put out the third Doom token, which advances the baddie plot. The wind carries the scent of smoke from across campus. A plume of flame rises from a nearby building. In player order, each investigator tests willpower, and if you fail, take a horror. Smoke on the wind. Okay. So, am I going to commit anything to a willpower check? I don't have anything I can commit. I can't use my dog for this, because this is not an attack or an investigation. Even though I feel like he should be able to help me with this, because he's such a good boy and he makes me feel good. Anyway, here we go. I've got a willpower of 3, by the way, so it's evens. And that's the skull, -1. I lose, I suffer 1 horror. Bam, there it is. And now that we've resolved that, we can go and draw our encounter card, which is Cosmic Evils. Revelation. You must do one of the following things. Place a Doom on the current agenda, or take 1 direct damage and 1 direct horror, and then Cosmic Evil gains Surge. Well, Surge means I have to draw another card. I'm not going to do that. I hate that. I don't want to draw another card. So I guess I'm going to put one on the the evil agenda. I'm not a big fan, but we've got 5. It's still got the parlay action on it, by the way. It says, the sky glows a faint orange as the flames spread. Anyway, here you go. Have your stupid Doom, you jerk. Hate that. But I really hate everything else about this card. I don't want to take 1 damage of each type and then draw another card. Could draw another one of those. Yeah, no, this is fine. This is fine. It's all fine. Okay. Oh, I didn't get my actions back. There they are. Right. So, I need to figure out... I have some cards in my deck that would make evading this guy super manageable. I think Adapt and Overcome probably does it, though, because... Well, actually, I don't know. Adapt and Overcome puts me on 4 versus his 4. So... Yikes. I don't want to discard any of these cards. They're all good cards. I mean, I'm not super worried about the 2 damage that he does here. I am super worried about the horror damage he does here. This... If I take 2 more horror damage, then that's me straight up on 3 out of 6. And that's not good. I do have a little way to heal horror in my deck somewhere, but again, I have to find it. I did think I was thinking about putting more card draw in the deck, and I didn't, so that's probably also bad. It's really tight. 30 cards is not very many cards at all. And I just didn't want to take anything out, but I probably could have stood to take some cards out. I can bring him in here. What is the action on your friend's room? Maybe this will be helpful. Choose an enemy at a connecting location. The enemy moves to this location and engages you. Well, that's not that helpful, really. I mean, I'm just going to move to his location and engage him anyway. No, I'm not convinced that's very helpful at all. So, no, I'm not doing that. Let's instead, I guess we move in there. So we move in here and he engages us. I've run out of, I realize I've probably not left myself enough space here. Right. So the Servant of Flame engages Tommy Muldoon, and I have to spend an action to move. Right. Now the question is whether or not we attempt to evade. I mean, we could shoot him twice with the pistol. The game said you should run. But if we shoot him twice and we lose... Oh, yeah, the location flips. Maybe there'll be something useful in the location. I don't know. Thank you for reminding me, Billy. It says here, so it's Shroud 3. There's only one clue. Once per game, you can take a walk around the dormitories to heal a damage in a horror. There's never a dull moment in the university dorms. Well, especially not when Ghost Rider lives there. Oh, alright, well at least there's a clue. I'm as likely to hit him as to evade him. But if I hit him, I have to hit him twice. And I have to actually hit him twice. Ugh, I really don't want to use physical fitness because I really like healing. I don't want to give up the service revolver either. If I had the service revolver, because he's got retaliate, I could shoot him with my gun, he'd hit me. No, I'm trying to avoid taking the 2 damage, is what I'm trying to do. Well, at least if we use Adapt and Overcome, he doesn't retaliate. I don't know. Like, what do you think, chat? Because we can evade him here, try to evade him here, and then move on. Or we can go to the Miskatonic Quad and see what happens. He'll just follow us, right? He doesn't get an attack of opportunity when we move, does he? Oh, he does, doesn't he? Yeah, because if we don't evade, parlay, or fight, he will just hit us. All right, fine, we'll evade. We'll commit, adapt, and overcome. I think I'm going to commit physical fitness. That's 3, so I'm on 5 versus his 4. This feels terrible. It really feels bad. I really need this to go well, or I have no actual game. Do you think I commit the service revolver as well then, Billy? I feel like the service revolver is really useful. But if this goes wrong, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah. You mean commit all 3? I'm already committing adapt and overcome and physical fitness. So I've committed 4 icons, but I'm on a 2 versus his 4. So this gets me to 6 versus his 4. Okay, we'll do it. 6 versus 4 is like my comfort zone, and this feels like I need this to win. Oh my god. Oh, there's still a good chance this... Alessandro says 6 versus 4 is okay. Yeah. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. I don't want to look. You guys... Is it good? Is it good? Ah, it's good! It's good! We're okay! All right. Okay, good. That was so expensive. I hated doing that. Right. There we go. So he's disengaged and exhausted. That was an action. That was the evade action. So for our final action, we're moving into the Miskatonic Quad, which reveals the card. That's wrong. Hang on. There we go. During your turn, if there are exactly 1 or 2 investigators in the game, move to a connecting location. Group limit once per round. Okay, so this gives us a little bit of extra movement as a free action, if we need that. Fine. And there are no clues here at all. But we do now also do this. We've managed to escape the dorms. We ran just like the game told us to, so I guess we're following orders. A burning apparition stands between you and the exit. You must escape to the dormitories. If you make it to the quad, advance the card. So we have made it to the quad. In the open, you emerge from the dormitories, lungs bursting in the crisp autumn evening. Looking behind, there is no trace of your pursuer. You remember your friend planned to consult Miskatonic University's head librarian, Dr. Henry Armitage. He may be able to help you understand what's going on. Search all in-play and all out-of-play areas for the Servant of Flame, heal all damage from them, and set them aside out of play. Interesting. So if we had killed him, he would actually be set aside again. Interesting. Discard each enemy in play. Discard all tokens and attachments from your friend's room and remove it from the game. And put the 3 remaining set-aside locations into play. Okay. So, our boy disappears, never to be seen again. The fire is gone because the friend's room is burned down. That's fine. And then we're going to put out 3 more locations here. So we've got, what do we got here? The observatory. We've got the science hall, and we've got the library. Okay. And then, is that it? Was there more? No, that's it. All right, so this one is done. So it goes up here. And then we can check and see what the new objective is. Searching for Dr. Armitage. I can't read it from there. I'm gonna have to, sorry, gang. I need to bring this closer to me to read. Because I'm old now. Your friend had mentioned visiting the head librarian, Dr. Henry Armitage. With more and more strange figures arriving, you must scour the campus for his whereabouts. At the end of the round, investigators at the library may spend 3 clues to advance. Right, so I need to find clues about where Armitage is, and then go and find him at the library. So I'm going to assume that that all those clues are not going to be at the library. So we're going to have to explore these other locations as well. Right. But that's the end of my turn because I'm all out of actions. So we'll move to the enemy phase, which currently doesn't happen because the Servant of Flame has disappeared. So therefore, it's just my end of turn phase. So I get my actions back. There's no cards to refresh. We will draw and gain a... So we've drawn... the right tool for the right job. This is literally only in my deck because it's a promo card I got at the UKG, and it's vaguely useful in this deck. So it says, it's a 1-cost Guardian card that says, search the top 9 cards of your deck for a tool or weapon, add it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. And that's all it is. But it was, I got it at the UKG as a promo, so I was like, I'll put it in the deck, sure. And then I get a resource. So we could go and find the service revolver. I've got a unique rifle as well called Becky in here somewhere, which could be useful. But first, another Doom token up here, and another encounter card over here. Encounter card is another Unspeakable Truths. Boo! Boo, Unspeakable Truths, boo! And this, I'm gonna spend... Oh, do you know what? I rearranged the main game board and didn't move the clue. So there's a clue at the dormitories as well. That might be worth going back for. I can heal damage there as well. Yeah, we're going to spend the next few turns, I think, just wandering back and forth between these locations looking for clues. Fortunately, I have my police dog to help me. There is also technically a lore icon on right tool for the right job, but I probably want to save that. Okay, well, let's start by wandering over to the observatory, I think. Seeing as it's just top of the list. Can't think of anything better to do, so might as well just head over to the Warren Observatory. A generous grant from Tillinghast Endeavours has allowed the university to bring the storied observatory back bigger and better than ever. I don't know, that might be a reference to one of the other campaigns. I move over there. That's what I should have done. I should have moved my little guy. There we go. Alright, so let's find out what's going on here then. So 3 shroud value, 1 clue. When you discover a clue at this location, draw a card. I like that. To date, Miskatonic astronomers have identified at least 15 separate stars that appear to have gone missing from the Northern Hemisphere. Well, I choose not to be concerned about that. I just choose not to be worried about stars, missing stars, and whatnot. You know? Alrighty, clue time. Clue. I need a clue. There's my clue. Alright. Now, I've got... That wasn't... What did I spend this action on? I spent that to move, didn't I? Which I shouldn't have, because this card gives me a free move. So, I think... Yeah, Alessandra, there's like, look at all the stars on my playmat. There's so many stars. A few missing stars isn't very concerning. Right, so given that we've got our free move here as well, and we're all out of cards because we spent them all evading that guy, let's spend 2 actions to get rid of Unspeakable Truths, because horror is my weakness. I can't take very much of it. And then we'll spend our final action to do a little clue hunt here. It is just a sort of a Hail Mary because I want to keep right tool for the right job. So we are in fact actually just straight up using our Saxon, and that's it. So it's 4 versus the shroud value of 3. So worse than a -1 here, biffs it. Come on, bam! It's a -1. We did it. What if I rigged this bag, gang? I didn't, by the way. Look, this is all the standard difficulties. I actually don't know what the range is. Oh, there's 3 of those. That's why. There's 3 -1s. The worst is a -4. This is the outright fail. This guy sucks. This is -1 and pull again, and then if you fail, suffer horror, I think. No, if you fail, take a damage, so that's okay. This is the super guy. We like this guy. This is +1, and also I get to have an ammo for one of my guns. Alrighty. So we've got a clue. That's a start. We need that to win. That's one of 3. We also get to draw a card. Excellent. We've got the iron sights. Okay, so this is the one that gives us +3 when we're doing a big shoot. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep this in hand for now, just because I don't know if I want to spend the asset to equip it. I might also find a better gun. Although, to be fair, there's only 3 in the deck. There's the M1911, the service revolver, and my rifle Becky. But that's it. That's the end of the round. There's still no enemies, so we're into cleanup. So, refresh Saxon, grab the actions, draw a card. The card is... Restrained. This is the card I was talking about that would help me with the other guy. So look, this is a fast play. Play after he attacks you. So I would have had to let him attack me. So maybe this isn't that great. But after a non-elite enemy attacks you, automatically evade that enemy and attach restraint to it. The attached enemy cannot ready, but if they are not a humanoid, then they will break free and chase me at round end. Still a pretty cool card, I think. It also has willpower and agility on it for testing. Anyway, that's the end of that. God, I need to find the cards that help me with investigations, because we're just doing investigations. That's basically what our life is going to look like, I feel like, for a little while. But that's the end of cleanup step, so it's time for a Doom. Still, that's 3 out of 5, so we're okay for Doom at the moment. Oh, no, that's a 3, though. Don't put that up. This up. 3 out of 5 Doom, and then this here. Hey, Chaticus, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Ready for some cosmic horror? Here it is. Here's the cosmic horror. It's a mutated experiment. I called it. Turns out betting on cosmic horror in Arkham Horror is a pretty safe bet. All right, so this is 3/3/3. It's a creature. It's mutated. When this enemy is defeated, each investigator at the location suffers a horror. Boo! I hate that. I'm not good at horror. I don't want to suffer any horror. Anyway, that immediately engages me. I'm probably just going to have to shoot this thing to death. I'm pretty good at shooting. I probably should have equipped the... I didn't have a chance to equip iron sights. But now I'm filled with regret. I suppose I could use restrained, but then this thing would have to attack me first. I was about to say I could try and evade it, but the odds of that happening are extremely low. If I use Vicious Blow, I can just kill it in one hit. So I think that's probably the best course of action. So we will use the M1911 to shoot at it. Given that, am I going to get to do... No, I'm going to shoot. I've got a free move, and then another move. I could do an investigation. So let's do some quick math. If we use the M1911 and we commit Vicious Blow, then we're on 6 attack, actually. We're good at attacking. 6 attack to its 3. I feel pretty good about that. So I won't commit Saxon because I'm hoping I'll get an investigation in this round. Because this is action number 1. We get to move back here for free. Action number 2, we could move in here. And action number 3, actually we could heal here. And I do like healing. But no, we'll do the investigate here and heal next turn so we can use Saxon again. So, yeah, so we shoot with the gun. So we're on +1 from the gun, +1 from Vicious Blow. And so that puts us on 6 because we're at base 4. And then if we hit, we actually do 3 damage. So I started blasting. A mutated experiment appeared in the observatory. So I started blasting. All right. Here we go. Blam! It's a -1. It's mulch. Bam, 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 bam. Get out of here. This is my thing. I'm good at this. I take a heart. Because he was awful. I mean, and actually, like, I don't know if you got a good enough look at this art. It's pretty horrendous. I mean, I don't know how easily you can see from there. But if you bear with me a minute here, I'll zoom in even closer just so you can really get a sense of this awful, awful art. I mean, it's great. The art's great, but also it's awful. Specifically, like, maybe you can't quite see it, but this little nubbins down here between its tentacles or whatever, that's actually a human face. That's an actual, like, sort of weird, like, just sort of, it's like, it's made of skin. It's made of human skin. Blech. Awful. Terrible. Right, so that's dead. And we can now just continue with the plan that I outlined earlier. So we hop back here using our free move from... Can I use the Miskatonic quads free movement action if I'm not there? I assume so. I've assumed so. But, because it just says during your turn... Do I need to be here to use this action? I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm walking through here anyway. But can someone confirm whether or not we actually need to be in this room to use this fast action? I kind of assume you do, actually. Yeah, you have to be there. Okay, Billy, that's fine because we're gonna spend an action to leave. So we'll spend an action to go back there, and then we can use the fast action there for free to move over here. Whereupon we will spend our final action to do an investigate. We'll trigger Saxon. We'll hopefully get a clue here. It is challenge rating 3. Bam! -2. I'm on 4. That puts me at 2. I fail. Alright, that's fine. You know, it happens to everyone, okay? Also, this is spent. Alright. Don't judge me. It happens to everyone. I swear. All right. So that's end of that phase. We're into cleanup phase because there is still no enemies. We blasted them all with guns. This is why I wanted to play Tommy. I just wanted the guns. I don't want to have to be constantly evading and just getting overwhelmed by enemies. It's too stressful. But I'm not the best investigator. I also haven't found the cards that help me with it. I was this close to putting perception in the deck, but I couldn't decide what to take out because everything else was so cool. Right, anyway, we've refreshed everything, so we get to draw for turn, which is the Blood Drinker. Oh good, the basic weakness. It's another enemy. Man, I cannot catch a break. I'm just going to have to shoot this guy to bits. Great. Alright. Well, I guess it's better to get that out now while things are relatively quiet. Although I'm very conscious that the enemy plot advances in a minute. And then I get a resource. I suppose I could restrain this guy, but he's got Hunter, so he's just going to keep following me, so I probably just need to kill him. Anyway, before I do that, it's time to add a doom. One little doom up here. There we go. And draw an encounter card. And it's another enemy, but it's just a bystander. Do you know what? I've got a card that literally lets me interrogate him for a clue. Where's that card? I need to draw that card. Anyway, he engages me as well. God damn it. This sucks. I mean, it's fine. I still didn't... I should have equipped the bloody iron sights. God damn it. Who would have thought back in the dormitories would find a bunch of nonsense? I mean, it makes perfect sense. All right. The Blood Drinker is not very strong, so let's just shoot him. So I'm going to have to shoot him twice, which blows. I'm going to spend my whole turn just dealing with these 2 cards. If I had Bounty, I could get some money from it, but I don't even have Bounty. Because I took one out. I've only got 1 copy of Bounty now. That's a... God damn it! That's a miss, isn't it? That's a bloody miss. Oh, you're kidding me. I don't tap the gun. I don't know why I tapped the gun. I just run out of ammo. And I spent my stock, but I've got the right tool for the right job. Oh, this. Okay, fine. 2 damage. I have to take care of this guy first because he does, in fact, have a horror on him, and I don't want to take any horror. Fine, good. That's dead. He's dead. And that's the end of my turn. All I did was spend my whole turn shooting that one guy. Man, I just wanted to do some other stuff. Okay, so now there is an enemy phase where the bystander hits me and I take a damage. He's like, ha, gotcha. Smack. I didn't even use Saxon. I could have used Saxon. If I'd used Saxon on that first attack, I would have passed it. Which is frustrating. But I didn't do that. Do you know what? Like, but also, fuck this guy. So, I was about to say I'm going to restrain him. But I'm just very conscious that I'm not going to top deck the 1 card I need, though, am I? That lets me interrogate him for money. To interrogate him for a clue. I'm not going to draw it. He is a humanoid, so yeah, screw it. Let's just restrain him. I don't have time for this. I don't want to waste my actions parlaying with him next turn. So he's all tied up. He's tied up in the dormitories, and we'll never talk about him again. Good. So that's a fast to play, and it's play after an anomaly enemy attacks you. Automatically evade and then attach the card to them. Tie them up. Be done with them. All right, that's it. End of round. I'm going to draw another card that's not going to be loose cannon. Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry. It's another service revolver. Well, that's good. I should definitely equip that. He said while he continues to fail to equip his other cards. Okay, I get my actions back. I get $1, a resource to spend, and I spent some of these resources. And that's it. Back to the top. So we got our, tragically, sadly, deeply unfortunately, we have in fact got our 5th Doom. So take these 4 off and we'll reveal what happens next in the enemy plot. You can see after this we've got 10, and that's the last card, so if that fills up we just straight lose, I guess. It's probably fine, right? It's probably fine. Cinders fly through the air above Miskatonic University. The wail of a fire alarm resounds across the quad as dozens of frightened students flee the scene. If they are still set aside, place the 4 set-aside copies of Fire into the encounter discard pile. Oh, no, they're not. They're all in there. In player order, each investigator tests agility, and each investigator who fails takes damage. Right, agility. I've got 2. I can only give up my service. You know, it's fine. I can take a damage. I've taken 1 of 9. That's fine. Yeah, it's damage, not horror. So, that's fine. I was doomed to failure anyway. -4. This bag is. There's only one -4 in there. This bag hates me. Is this everyone's experience with this game? Like, this bag just sucks and hates you? Is this going to be our consistent experience for the rest of time? All right, so that's that. That's all that card does, actually. So now we've got Wild Flames. So let's see if this does anything additional. The campus is ablaze! We've still got Parlay to discard a bystander. Forced. After Doom is placed on the agenda, this card, the lead investigator draws the topmost copy of Fire in the encounter discard. Right, so the building's burning down. Okay. Yeah, drawing a bad card. There are good ones in there. There are some good ones in there. But you just never see them. You never see them. Okie dokie. I already drew the service revolver. Right. Well, I think my turn is... Oh, I didn't draw my encounter card. Right. I was just thinking, like, everything was going too well. Extraplanar vision, revelation, test willpower or lore where X is the number of cards in your hand. That's 3. If you fail, take a damage and discard a card at random from your hand. I don't like it, but that could have been so much worse. Fine. All right. So lore or willpower, they're both the same. Am I going to spend a card for this? No, it's fine. Because if I spend a card and then I have to discard a card, then I lose 2 and I'll be sad. Yeah, you go up to +8 and then you draw the auto fail. All right, so we're even Stevens here. So let's go ahead and have a look here. Maybe we'll draw something really good. You never know. No, -1, so a card at random goes. Alright, what I want in chat is left, right, or middle. Left, right, or middle, please. Whoever answers first, that's the card that goes. Middle, from Brian. Here we go. So, Brian, you have cost us the iron sights. Do you know what? That sucks, but it's alright. That's fine. We've got the service revolver and the right tool for the job still, so I'll live with it. I'm going to... What am I doing this turn? I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling like this whole building's about to... Thanks, Chaticus. Glad you're here. Welcome back, bud. I really want to play right tool for the job. But there's 3 actions. I want to do the 2 actions here and then move back to the middle as well. I'm almost out of ammo for my M1911, which sucks. So I do need to get another gun. Especially if another enemy appears. But let's start by trying to do the actual mission, because we might have to spend many actions on this. So, once again, we're searching for clues. It's 4 against 3, so it's not great. Find that blue one. Okay, -1. That's fine because it's a success. So, we've got 1 more clue. We actually only need 1 more after this. But before we leave here, I really want to do the mission here. The action on the card, which is just healing. But We'll take this action here. I block it off with a resource token, but this is heal one of each damage type, so that's going to be big for us. Again, the red I'm not too worried about. It's the blue that I'm worried about. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So that was the second action. Third action is actually just move back to the quad, I think, because we need to be there to get to the other location. I mean, we're going to the library last, and that's just because it makes sense, because that's where Armitage is supposed to be. So I think we get the other clue here and then go here. That's my guess. Although the science hall might be awful. I don't know. But we're all out of actions once more. There's no enemies on the board, which is good. So it's just straight up refresh and draw. We've got Stakeout. This is the card I was looking for, you guys. It's actually not that good, but it's pretty good. This is one of the cards I needed. Look at this. So investigate. You get +2 for this investigation, and you can, if you succeed, you heal a horror. See, I told you I did have some cards that would help with this. I told you I had some. We get a resource. I've got so much resources. I need to, because I've not played that many cards. And then it's back to the top of the round, which begins with a Doom token going on here. And I probably should have considered where I was stood, because if I'd stayed in the dormitories, they would have lit on fire. But adding the Doom token there means that the quad light's on fire. And that's bad for me, because I need to move from the... I need to move around the quad. Anyway, the quad's on fire. And now we get an encounter card. Wild Compulsion, Revelation. Test Willpower 3. For each point you fail by, you must discard a card at random from your hand or pay a resource. I'm feeling quite blessed right now from money, so this isn't terrible. I do have... This is still evens, but I don't actually have any way to improve my test here, so we'll just have to pull and hope. And that's all we can do. Blam! Well, that's the worst. That's the worst possible thing that could have happened. That's 3. That means we failed by 3. God, this bag has been kicking me in the nuts. I pulled the -4 twice. I've pulled this twice. This bag sucks. This bag sucks. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, God. All right. Well, that's 3 resources, I guess. Because I don't want to discard a card at random, because I really need this one. Oh, man. This sucks. This sucks. That sucked. Who even likes this game? Why would you spend so much money on the old cards? All you need to do is play this core set, which you could buy at the moment, to discover how mean and frustrating this game is. Alright. Welcome to the... Oh, I didn't get my actions back. Hold on. Welcome to the Science Hall, gang. This. The construction of the West Memorial Science Hall at the northern end of campus is confusing to say the least. However, students nevertheless are more than happy for the modern facilities and state-of-the-art science equipment. Shroud 2, that's good for me. After you discover one or more clues here, discard a card from your hand. Well, that sucks. Help me out, gang, who know how to play this. If I have to discard from hand and can't, what happens? Do I just not discard? Because that would suit me well. I'm going to play like all of my cards, because I don't want to discard any of them. No, because if I play right tool for the right job, I'll get another card in hand. I think we might just spend some time sorting out some guns. Yeah, nothing? Okay, good. So... let's spend 2 to equip the service revolver. So that's an action. It was a free action to move in because of the quad. This room is going to set on fire, probably. I mean, definitely it's going to set on fire. That's probably fine. And it's the discovering of the clue that forces us to discard it. That's fine. We've got time. So I'll spend another action to play right tool for the right job. So now we're going to release 9 cards from the top of the deck to look for something. A gun. Another gun. So we've got physical fitness, that's fine. We've got the custom grip. We've got adapt and overcome. The other stakeout. The rookie cop. Another copy of restrained. Another copy of Saxon. Make him sing. This is the one that lets me interrogate the bystanders for clues. There's Becky. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? All right, we'll take Becky because I can actually play it, and then the rest of these are shuffled back in. She's only got 2 ammo. But how many enemies really are we going to have to shoot? I did play the service revolver as well, so I need to put some ammo on that. I'm wondering if it's... So I've still got 2 bullets on the M1911. I could sack that off to equip Becky with an additional ammo, or I can spend an extra resource to equip Becky with an additional ammo. Becky is two-handed, though, actually, so I can't even equip Becky, so shit. I should have known Becky was two-handed. Well, that's real dumb. Maybe we just use Becky for a test, then? Or else 50-50 we lose it, and the card we get next time. Yeah, with 1 action left. Oh, I was going to play out my whole hand so I didn't have to discard a card, and that seemed sensible. But now that I've realized I can't equip my cool gun, because I forgot about hand slots being like a thing. Well, actually, I also didn't realize she'd take 2 slots, but that's, of course, stupid because she's a rifle. Of course she takes 2 hands. So now with my final action, if I do the investigate, I just discard Becky. So do I try to get more cards so I'm less likely to have to discard her? The answer is yes. So I'll click. I'll take an action to draw a card. Oh my god, it's my weakness. I need to pay 5 resources and I can't, so I lose all of my equipped assets, which is everything. You either discard... Oh, you must discard either each firearm you control or 5 assets. So I can keep Saxon. Ugh, small mercies. Alright, well, now I guess we're using Becky. Well, at least we don't have to worry about the weaknesses anymore, I suppose. Yeah, exactly. We now got space to play Becky. Alright, so end of round. No enemies, so refresh, nothing to refresh. He doesn't refresh because he's restrained. He's all tied up in the dormitories. Nah. We'll get our 3 actions back. We'll draw for turn. We're getting a custom grip. That's good because it lets us replay Becky. So we can use her twice, which is really actually kind of a godsend. We get 1 asset, resource, and then that's that. Let's go to the next phase. So I'm going to play this Doom token, which means I have to set the Science Hall on fire. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the science hall's on fire. And now it's this guy. Bam! Oh no, I don't have a gun. The flame. Alright, well, this guy is easy to kill. So at least there's that. So this person engages me. I mean, I just take an attack of opportunity. I have no choice. I'm going to spend 3 to equip Becky with 3 ammo. And because, obviously, because that's, I'm doing that. I take an attack of opportunity, which is 1 damage. And then I'm going to use, so that's an action. Now I'm going to use Becky to shoot the Cantor of Flame. Yeah, I know, Haggers. Watch me have just completely jinxed it. So I can exhaust Becky to ignore the aloof and retaliate keywords. I'm just thinking, if I fail to kill the Cantor of Flame, I probably do want to shoot it again. And I'm not too worried about its retaliation, because it's just 1 damage. So I won't do that, but as a reaction, when I attack with Becky, I can exhaust it to ignore aloof and retaliate, which is nice. Ignoring aloof is good, because it means that... I can't remember what aloof does. It means it doesn't automatically engage, right? So why is that good to ignore? I don't know. You tell me in chat. We're not dealing with it right now. But anyway, here's the shot. So I'm feeling quite confident, actually, about the lore checks. I will use Saxon for this. No, I won't. No, this is fine. I'm getting +2, so I'm 6 to 2. So actually... Haggers, if you've jinxed me and I draw the tentacles again, I'm gonna come to your house. Alright, it's fine. It's all good. It's fine. Do you know what? It's so funny. Do you know what I said at the top of the stream? I said yesterday when I was practicing this, it was going really well. So I'm certain that it's going to go horribly. I guess we just shoot again. Oh, it's got retaliate. I take a damage as well. Great. Welcome to the first and last. This is why I haven't played this game on the channel for 10 years. Alright, it's dead. Good. With our last action, I should have used... No, it didn't matter. I drew the tentacles. It didn't matter about Saxon. I will spend this to equip the custom grip, because this basically, when the last time I fire... This is how I understand the card. And also, chat, I'm just going to keep leaning on you to make sure I'm doing this right. But my understanding here is that I'll have a window to play the fast response on this before I discard the card. So it says, during your turn, except as part of an action, you can discard custom grip to return the attached asset to your hand. You may play a firearm asset from your hand by paying its cost. So it's sort of like a quick reload. If I use the final... Well, it says except during an action. So does that mean I have to have at least 1 ammo left? I feel like if I use this ammo to trigger this action, is there a window? I don't know. You tell me, gang. I'm not sure. Oh, sorry. You tell me if there's a window to use the custom grip to recover the card. Anyway, it's on there now because I'll either use it to do it now or I won't, because I need some ammo in there. But that is that is the end of the investigator phase, which means I'm going to take damage from the fire. I really hope to get out of here by now, but I didn't. Blam! -3. Definitely takes the damage. Alright. This is fine. This is fine. Enemy phase. There's no enemies to be dealing with at the moment, so we're going straight to the investigator phase. We'll get our 3 things back. We're going to draw for turn. We've got make him sing. So, sorry guys. I'm gonna just check on that. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Take a break. You discard only when you replace. Sorry, Eggers. Let me leave this here with you guys to just take a quick look at this interaction, because it's about the timing, right? This is probably the part of the game that's sort of a bit more complicated. But it says, you know, spend an ammo, and then it says, oh, it doesn't actually say when there's no ammo on this, discard it. So I actually don't need to discard this when it runs out of ammo? Hager says there's no timing issue. Yeah, okay, so actually, oh, you discard when you replace. You mean when I place a new card that takes the hand slots. Okay, great, perfect. That's awesome. That solves that. All right, let me deal with this alarm. Sorry, gang. I'll be right back. 2 minutes. All right, hopefully that's resolved that. Anyway, good. Where was I? I think I just done end of round cleanup. Yeah, I just drawn for turn. What I hadn't done, actually, was get a resource, which I need to do because I have none left. So, there's a resource, and now we're back to the top of the next round, starting with setting fire to the nearest not on fire location. So, well, actually, starting with add a doom to the doom here, which means we have to set a fire. Now, the fire card says attach fire to the nearest location without fire attached. I'm going to, they're all now equidistant. I'm going to assume this is going to have to be the library, because that's the worst thing for me. And that's the Grim rule, isn't it? I really don't want to have to run into fire, but I don't have much choice. So, here we go. It's another extraplanar visions. If you fail, take 1 damage and discard a card at random from your hand. Oh, I really don't want to discard a card from my hand. Right. I don't need Make Him Sing right now. So, I think what I'm probably going to do here is test lore, magic books, test books, and I'll commit Make Him Sing. And then just hope that this pays off. X is the number of cards in hand. Right, so this is 2 versus 4. I'm on 4. It's on 2. Right, yeah, because I had only 2 cards in hand, right? It was 3 last time because I had more cards in my hand, but I don't have any cards in hand this time. So this should be fine. The Grim rule doesn't apply anymore. I can assure you, hackers, it's definitely in the new rulebook. I'm afraid. Oh! At last! Some success! The bag taketh away mostly, and very occasionally it giveth. Right. So that's a +1, which means that we succeed, but also a +1. My special powers, when that comes out, I can add an ammunition back to a weapon I've got. I assume that fast actions still trigger attacks of opportunity, right? I'm sure they do. I'm going to assume they do. Okay, good. I need cards and money. But first I need to play... I need to I need to take an action to get a resource so that I can play, for 2, play Stakeout. Stakeout lets us do the investigation. And we get +2. I'm also going to trigger Saxon to help out with this. Come on, buddy. Let's go. I mean, there's no way we... Let's just jinxed it. That's a +1, so we're all good. Average has got to average out. Alessandra says nope, which I assume is an answer to fast actions trigger attacks of opportunity. Sorry, so they do or they don't? Now I've confused myself. Yeah, any action. So fast is not an action. It's not an action. That's right. It's not an action, so they don't trigger attacks of opportunity. That's cool. That's wicked. All right. Brilliant. So we just succeeded at the investigate check. I realize I forgot to put a clue token here. There should have been one. Sorry about that for everyone who is yelling at me. But I get the clue token because we passed the investigate check, and also because of Stakeout, we get to heal a horror. We're somewhat reassured by the fact that we're finding clues like a normal police person. Now, I'm just going to keep taking damage from all this fire. I don't really see a way around it. Do we go to the library? Yeah, we do. We can't be wasting time. So we'll spend this to head back to the quad. And then from the quad we can fast action bounce into the library. To take every precaution since the flood, the Orn librarians have cleared out the basement archives and worked to waterproof the building. I feel like this might be... Fast goes through anything, it's free. Perfect, thanks gang. Yeah, Alessandra, you're having issues with connecting to chat as well, so am I. I don't know what's going on with that. But I guess it's a Google thing if it's affecting both of us. Right, this must be a reference to the Drowned City, the last story arc. I don't know. Anyway, they've rebuilt the library, and now... Oh, Shroud 4. Ooh, draw 3 cards. Ooh, 2 actions. There is a clue here, but I don't need it because I've got 3 clues. I needed 3 clues, right? Yes. So, at the end of the round, if you're at the library with the 3 clues... Okay, so it's actually good I did come to the library then, because I need the clues. I've got the clues. All right, great. So there was a clue here, but on 4, I'm not sure if I ever would have found it. So, that is good. And it's at the end of the round? Yeah, at the end of the round. Fine. Okay, great. So at the end of the investigator phase, I take another damage from the fire. And then there's no enemies to resolve, so we're into cleanup. So we'll refresh Saxon. We'll draw a card. It's adapt and overcome. We'll draw a resource. And I need those 3 cards, but 3 actions is a lot. We'll get our 3 actions back. 2 actions is a lot. Right, so that's end of round. So now we're going to trigger the Search for Dr. Armitage card for the cost of 3 clues. So I shall spend my clues, and we'll see what happens next. You find Dr. Armitage barricaded in one of Orne Library's lecture halls. Some on campus have been acting strange lately. Your friend among them. But all of that can wait. We must confront your pursuer and stop them before the entire campus burns, Dr. Armitage said. Put the set-aside Dr. Henry Armitage story asset into play under the investigator's control. He does not take up an ally slot during this scenario. Put the set-aside servant of flame enemy into the quad and 3 clue tokens there. The lead investigator, that's me, must search the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of fire and draw them. I mean, that's fine. There's nothing more that we can set on fire that hasn't already been set on fire. All right, let's have a look at Dr. Henry Armitage then. He's over here. So while he's with you, you get +1 willpower and +1 lore. The first action you perform each round does not provoke attacks of opportunity. I've seen more than my share of strange occurrences. The head librarian. Cool, wicked. I love this for us. So he comes into play, and he takes up the same slot as Saxon, but we can have them both, because it said for this adventure he doesn't take up a slot. All right, wicked. Then it said the fire guy is back. So the Servant of Flame reappears here at the Miskatonic Quad. And we put 3 clue tokens in there. All right. I feel like that's a sensible place for them to live, but also I've been putting them near the card because then you guys can see them more easily. Okay. The lead investigator searches for a fire card, puts it into play. I guess I don't want to put it at the dormitories because that's where that guy is restrained, and then it's going to kill him, and then he's going to place a doom on the agenda. So I will put it in here because that sucks for me. Guys, is it just chat or is it the whole stream? Let me know. Hopefully it's coming through okay in the long run anyway. All right, so that's the card resolved. So now let's find out what we're going to have to do next. Blaze of Glory. Your fiery nemesis can't be allowed to hurt any more innocents. With Dr. Armitage's help, perhaps you can stop them. So as a fast action, you can spend one clue as a group. Deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. Okay, so I can do investigates to deal damage. I can also flee the burning campus by resigning. Okay, so I have to go and defeat the Servant of Flame. Fine. Before this advances to 10. Okay, so that was end of round. So we're back to top of round. Oh, actually, the whole thing's going to be on fire now because this comes out and we have to set another fire, which is here. So everything's on fire. Everything's on fire. So I have to shoot this guy 3 times with Becky to kill him. I feel like maybe I hang out here for one more turn and just sort of draw cards. Maybe try to get set up a bit. Wait a minute, what's the order? Is he going to walk in here and smack me, though? Because I don't have my service revolver anymore. I've used them both. Didn't we get rid of both service revolvers? Yeah, we had to, right? Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, that sucks. Right. Enemies with the hunter and patrol keywords move and then attack. Great. So he's going to come in here and hit me. He has retaliate. My concern is that I really can only take like 3 hits from him. And then I'm definitely, almost certainly dead. The only respite I have is that Henry Armitage can help me. Right, but I'll tell you what, I haven't even done my encounter card. So this could all be for naught, because this could be terrible. Mutated? Oh god, that's horrendous. That's horrendous. Test willpower. +2 difficulty if there's an enemy at your location. Either take 2 damage or a horror. Oh, God. Well, the good news is Henry Armitage helps me with this. And also there's not an enemy at my location. So at least we've got that going for us. I've got no cards to commit to this, so it's still just a straight up test. I'm on 4, cards on 2. I could really do with not failing this. That's a pass. Good. Good. Thank you for not being super mean, bag. Alright. So, if I hang out here for one more turn, I'm going to take a fire damage, and he's going to come in here and kill me. If I go in there, I'm going to take 3 damage from him and 2 horror, but that doesn't kill me. Am I right in thinking I can assign any amount of horror and damage incoming to allies? I would never assign damage to Saxon, don't worry. Because I'm super tempted to spend 2 actions to draw 3 cards, but I'm conscious that I have no money either. So unless I draw my other emergency cash. Correct, however you want. Thanks, Alessandro. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I might just be better to go in there and start blasting, you know? But once I leave here, I'm not going to be able to... He's going to come in here and hit me anyway. He's got retaliate. I can ignore a bad retaliate with Becky. But I can reload Becky because of the custom grip. So I think we just go to start blasting. I think what's really going to be problematic is we could potentially finish him off with a good investigate check next round as well, and that won't trigger opportunity because of Armitage. What really could screw us is if this is really bad next round. All right, so we move in here, and the Servant of Flame engages us. Oh, but if this fails, that's going to suck. But we've got adapt and overcome. So actually, I think it's fine. So we're gonna trigger... Actually, let's kick adapt and overcome into this. So this lets us ignore retaliate anyway. And it gives us +2. So he's on 4. With the +2, I'm on 2. I'm on 8. So here's my ammo. Alright, that's fine. So 2 damage to the Servant of Flame. Am I right? Retaliate's only if I miss, right? Or is retaliate, does he always retaliate? Yeah, it's when you attack and fail. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Okay, good. So then I guess we attack again. We'll spend our final ammunition. Saxon will help us out. And we'll exhaust Becky as well, because that means we can ignore retaliate. We're basically shooting at a distance. So this time we're on 7. That's a miss. I really needed that to hit. Shoot. Oh, there's nothing I can do about that. Man, those came out in the wrong order. Okay, fine. Oh, he's elite as well, so I couldn't restrain him. Okay, end of the round, and he hits me. So enemy phase, he activates. He's the only one to activate. The other guy is still tied up over here, so that's fine. So he activates, he hits me for 2 physical. Oh, sorry, end of the investigator phase, I take 1 physical from the location. Why have I got a resource here? 1 physical from the location. That puts me on 5 out of 9. Then he hits me for 2. I've got 2 left. But I could still assign some to Armitage. And he also hits me for 2 horror, which I'm actually quite good on. I've managed to avoid horror quite well. I have a resource. All right. So that's the end of the enemy phase. So now it's back to clean up. Oh, God. Maybe I should... I'm just going to assign a couple of these to Armitage. Armitage dives in front of me. He's like, I'll protect you, Tommy. And I'm like, but don't get yourself killed. Right. And then draw for turn. We've got the M1911. It's not really going to help us, though, right now. And then we get one of these. Right. Yes, because Armitage lets me play Becky without triggering an attack of opportunity. Oh, but also I need to shoot him twice because I missed. That's awful. Oh, God, this is going to be really tight. I hate how tight this is. I hate it. We might just burn to death. So sad. Anyway, it could all be over, actually, thanks to... so that's all resolved. Back to the top of the round, then. It could all be completely screwed by this next card I pull. Oh, what's that? Test willpower or agility. Take 1 damage for each point you fail by. Oh, the smoke! The smoke from the fire! Alright, well, I'll test willpower, which is 4 versus its 3. I have nothing else to commit to this, so it's just a straight pull. -2, that's 1 damage. What am I on? 5. This puts me on 6. Fine. Okay, there's a world where we can do this, and a world where we just die. Now, wait a minute. We did talk about doing a damage with an investigate, didn't we? Spend 1 clue to deal 1 damage to the enemy at your location. So the thing is, the investigate check here is just 1. So... But I can't, so... I could take 1 more hit from this monster. I could take 1 more attack of opportunity. Alright, let's see how this goes. So we're going to start with a fast action to pull Becky back into hand, thanks to custom grip. And then I think for our first action, we play Becky. And that doesn't trigger an attack of opportunity because of Armitage. And that comes into play with 2 ammo. So functionally, we're just reloaded. I'll spend actually 1 more here, because why not, to add an additional ammo. Not that it really is necessary, but I'll do it anyway. Alright, so then we shoot the monster. We're going to trigger Becky and Saxon for this, because we really can't afford to miss. So this is +3, so we're on 7, versus the Servant of Flame is 4. Okay, that's -1. We have to pull again, and if we fail, we take a damage. That's -3. We're on 7. That's a 4, so we pass. What is the end trigger? This is so tight. This is unbelievably tight. Alright, I spent my ammo. That's fine. If we'd failed there, I think we would have died, because we would have taken 3 damage. If the Servant of Flame is defeated, advance. I can only hope that advancing that is like, win the game. Because I've got 2 options now. I need to do 1 more damage. So I can do another combat check with Becky. And theoretically, I could actually exhaust her to avoid retaliation. But I think the damage kills me. I mean, if it doesn't kill me, it kills Saxon and Armitage. What is it, 6? He's doing 2 more. No, 2 more puts me on 8. No, but I take 1 more from the location. So someone has to soak that. So the question is, if I use Becky, I've got 6 versus his 4. +2 is not great. If I do a investigate check, I have 4 versus 1. I take a strike from the Servant of Flame, which means that... So, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if I shoot with Becky, my odds are 6 to 4, but there's a chance I survive 1 more round. A chance. It depends on the deck. I'm so sweaty, Billy. This is tough. This is standard difficulty, by the way. This is just standard. You can let the doctor die since you just need to do 2 damage. I need to do 1 damage. The monster has 5 health, which is why I could do the investigate check, get the clue, and then as a fast action, I can spend the clue to do the final damage. And I like the odds of 4 to 1 better than 6 to 4. You know, does that make sense? The only downside is that I will take the retaliation, which leaves me on 4 horror, which is bad, and also 2 here. So if I fail on the investigate check, I straight lose. We should shoot him, right? Because we could potentially survive another round. Whereas if we 6 to 4, and maybe we get another round, but the odds are bad, or 4 to 1, but that's it. What do you reckon? 4 to 1, but if we fail, we're done. 6 to 4, but if we fail, there's a slim chance we get 1 more go at it. A slim chance, because it really depends. We'd take... Retaliation is only on attack, I thought. No, sorry, but if we do an investigate, sorry, it's not retaliation, it's attack of opportunity. So if we do the investigate check, we'll take an attack of opportunity, we can soak 1. Right? But then after that, the room's on fire, and he'll hit us in the enemy phase and kill us. So if we soak the attack of opportunity to do the investigate, we're done. Oh, Sandro says kill him. Yes, but kill him with book or kill him with gun? That's my dilemma. I'm so torn. Yes, I do the investigate and let the allies die. I don't think the allies have enough left to soak it. I mean, I'm not worried about the horror. I'm worried about the damage. But yeah, okay, let's do the investigate check. You know what? Let's do it. We'll do the investigate check. So, Shroud 1, and it's 4-1, and I have no way to improve this because I already tapped. So we're going to take, first off, we're going to take an attack of opportunity, which is 2 damage and 2 horror. So here's 2 horror for Armitage because he can soak it. I'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, the reality is, even if I put both of these down here and kill the allies, I'm going to take 1 from the fire and then 2 from his attack, and I die anyway. So what I do with these doesn't really matter. Because there's lethal damage on the board, even if the allies soak these. So I'm going to protect my friends and just take the damage. Because there's 3 more in the pipeline for me anyway. Oh, Alessandro says with gun. No, Billy, I can survive. If I use the gun, I can survive. Oh, we've got a standoff here. Billy thinks investigate. Alessandro thinks gun. 1 more turn is better, in my opinion. But that's 1 more turn, provided the encounter card is not horrific. And if the encounter card is bad, then we're cooked anyway. So would it not be better to have 1 slightly better odds now? I mean, we're just gambling. We're just gambling. We're just playing the odds. Four versus 1. Billy's like, you're just kicking the can down. Look, we've already done it now. I feel like I've committed. I've started the action, so here's hoping and praying. Oh, I really don't want to fail this team. I really don't want to fail this. -1. It's okay! So we succeed in the investigate check, we take the clue token, and then as a fast action, we spend it to deal 1 damage to an enemy at our location. That's my health. Sorry. I was excited. Boom! We did it! And our friends survived on perfect health. Look, the main thing is, Saxon was there the whole time. Saxon's my boy. All right. Okay. Good stuff. I'm so pleased about that. I'm so pleased. Okie dokie. Here we go. Your nightmarish pursuer reels back, clutching both hands to their head, as if trying to pry their mask off. The sound of sirens in the distance grows louder. You turn to see a gaggle of terrified students rush past you. When you turn your attention back to your flaming nemesis, they've vanished into thin air. Resolution 1. Oh, there is a resolution 2 and 3? Holy shit. Oh, right. I see. I understand. Yep. Mayhem unfolds as dozens of students work together to fight the raging inferno. Your mind races with a flurry of questions. Who is your pursuer? What did the hooded figures patrolling the campus actually want? And where is your friend? Dr. Armitage places one hand on your shoulder, startling you. If we hope to find your friend and their kidnapper... Is that the voice I gave him? If we hope to find your friend and their kidnapper, we must leave now. I'll explain everything on the way. You look at the students fighting bravely against the blaze, and then at the head librarian. You could stay and help, but it would cost you precious time. In your campaign log, record the investigators defeated their masked pursuer. Choose an investigator to become the bearer of the Henry Armitage story asset. All right, well, that's me. Each investigator earns experience equal to value X, which is each card in the card display. 1, 2... Do we get victory points for the Servant of Flame? I'm going to assume we do. So it's 4? 4. Each investigator earns 3 bonus experience as they reflect on the events of the night. So total 7. Nice. The investigators must decide. Stay and fight the fire, or there's no time, we have to go. Oh. XP for more guns! More guns! All right, team. What do you think? Stay and fight the fire, or be on our... or chase the guy? Sorry, there's no time, we have to go, or stay and fight the fire. I mean, we are a policeman, not a firefighter, but we are also a civil servant who believes in preserving life. So, what do you reckon? Is 7 XP good? Alessandra says that's good. It's probably being nice to me because this is the first game. Right, campaign notes. The investigators defeated their masked pursuer. I'm gonna write, can I write Tommy? The investigators. I guess that's you, chat. You're the investigators with me. Defeated the... Give chase. Billy says I feel like we have to help, but Brian says chase them. A masked pursuer? Defeated their masked pursuer. Well, I do feel some sense of loyalty, Billy, after your investigate decision paid off. But I also feel like we should be making decisions as a group. Does anyone have strong feelings about breaking this tie? Jadicus, don't tell me to retire or resign. What did Armitage say? If we hope to find your friend and their kidnapper, we must leave now. I'll explain everything on the way. You look at the... See, I kind of want to stay and fight the fire, though, because it says, you look at the students fighting bravely against the blaze. You could stay and help, but it would cost you precious time. Ugh. I have no choice. I have to go and make a poll. Because I'm torn. Do I get to vote in my own polls? I don't think so. All right. Here's poll. Did poll happen? Oh, they have the fire under control, says Felix there. I do not get to vote in my own poll. Which is probably for the best. I'm gonna do a little countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it, gang. Oh, there we go. No, oh, no. Like someone tied it right as I called it. 7 votes for... it's really close, gang. That's really close. Let it be known, I feel like we should have helped with the fire, but... there's no time. We have to go. You flee the campus with Dr. Armitage, leaving the university to its fate. The wail of sirens drowns out all other sounds. Sorry, we're down here now, gang. I'll get that out. The wail of sirens drowns out all other sounds as you follow the head librarian to his apartment. In your campaign log, record Miskatonic University burned. That feels bad. They did not have the fire under control, Felix, or we thought they did, but they didn't. I'm writing it down. Miskatonic University burned. Each investigator suffers a mental trauma as they are racked with guilt for letting the university burn. A mental trauma? I don't actually know what that is. I put down 1 mental trauma. Doesn't that mean I start with a horror? Is that what that means? I feel like that could be really bad for me because I don't have very much. Yes, Billy says yes. Okay. Oh dear, I can't take very much horror. I'm gonna need to find some more cards to help me heal horror. Well, we shall see if this has. Obviously, we've written down Miskatonic University burned. We'll see if this has ramifications in the future. Alessandro says, "Oops." Well, you never know. Hopefully, we'll find out. We'll find out in Chapter 2, Smoke and Mirrors, whether giving chase quickly has had some sort of benefit. So, that wasn't too bad, but I think we're going to wrap up the stream here. Thanks everyone so much for coming along and joining me on Arkham Horror. I will come back for the next part, possibly very soon, because I've got the game set up and I want to keep playing. We'll probably do a level up at the beginning of the next episode and then crack on with Chapter 2. So, if you're not subscribed or you don't have notifications, turn them on so you don't miss it. But otherwise, thanks so much everyone for hanging out. I had a really good time playing this with you all. I would have been so upset if we'd burned to death in the quad. So I'm pleased that we scraped through this, but we did do it. So well done, everybody. Good job. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you all in the next stream. Bye for now.